Second row, Joe.
Hey, LeBron. We were talking a little bit about it back there, but you score 14 possessions in a row, and it's not enough to put them away. How frustrating was it from a defensive side that, as well as you played offensively, wasn't enough there at the end?
It wasn't enough because we got off to a horrible first half once again in this building, and you're playing catch up the whole game. So every defensive possession feels even more intensified when you've given up so many points in the first half. I think they've averaged 58 or something like that in the first half here, and in the high 30s in the second half. So it gets a little bit more intensified, but it just goes back to the first half. We're not starting off games the right way. The second quarter has been really bad for us here. So we got to do a better job of that where we can't dig ourselves such a big hole. And now, every possession feels even more intensified, late in the game.
Stay in that same row, Jason.
Brian, you guys shot, I think, 14 threes the first quarter. A lot of them were open looks, but they weren't falling. You seemed to move off of the line after that. Was that by design? Were you making a concerted effort to get off the line and get inside?
Well, of course. We got to be more well-balanced. We started the game, we had some great looks, but, when they're not going, you got to be able to try to switch it up and get into the paint and see what you can do. And, I was able to get into a paint a little bit, Kyrie as well, but we just haven't shot the ball from the three-point line. It's part of what they're doing as well, but it's part of us being a little bit more conscious about, okay, if it's not going down, then we got to get into the paint a little bit more and then kick out for threes as well.
If I can follow up real quick. You said this morning you had a game plan for yourself. For the outside, it didn't look drastically different the way you played tonight compared to the other games in the series. Did you have something different in mind? Did you play the way you wanted to, or did you have another idea going in?
I think I played to the game plan that I wanted to play, both offensively and defensively. For me, I gave everything that I had in the 46 minutes that I played, both offensively and defensively. I felt great. Tried to get my guys involved, get myself involved. So my individual game plan was pretty good.
Chris Parker, Cleveland Scene, over on your right, LeBron. In the second quarter, you mentioned you guys got outscored 30-17. Was it an issue of effort or execution, or what was really going wrong in that quarter?
I don't know. I gotta watch the film just to see the mistakes that we made. But they put it on us good in the second quarter. Obviously, 30-17, and I think Kyle hit some huge shots in that second quarter. DeRozan hit some big shots as well. So I got to go over the film, but obviously 30-17 is not a good ingredients for a win.
Back left.
LeBron, Devin Gray, and PH. How difficult is it to overcome when two players on the opposing team both go for 30-plus?
First of all, you tip your hat to DeMar and Kyle. They did a great job. They're the all-stars for a reason, and that's why they're here today. And, they've carried this team all season. So, but even at the end of the day, as well as they play, we still had a chance. We still had a chance to win the ball game. And that's all you can ask for. But what we can't do is dig ourselves the hole that we did in the first half.
Dave
McMenamin, ESPN. LeBron, when you guys started executing like that in the second half offensively and everything was clicking, it was crisp passing, how can you transfer that same type of execution on the defensive end?
Well, I think defensively, while we made that run, we played some really good defense. I think we had a couple breakdowns that I know in my head that happened throughout that run. But they also made some tough shots. They made some tough shots while we were making that run. Corey Joseph made a tough runner over top of me going right. I think Kyle made a couple tough ones. DeMar made a couple pull-ups as well. So we followed our game plan as much as we, 95% of the time. I can remember two plays that I'm not going to say right now that I wish we had back. But while we made our run, our defense, stepped up, and that was good to see.
Chris
Haynes, Cleveland.com. Brian, that fourth quarter, with that second unit group that you played with, that's when you guys started getting your mojo back. As the quarter came to a close, other players started, coming back in. My question is that lineup that you had right there, is that built to go the distance, or is it just a stopgap?
Well, I think whatever lineup Coach Lou put on the floor can go the distance, and we're all professionals. We have a great group of guys. So no matter who's on the floor, we have to execute. We have to play to our identity. So I think our second unit did a great job of giving us a boost. And whoever comes in after that has to continue to, play at a high level. So, we do a great job as a first unit at times of picking up our second unit, and then at times our second unit do a great job of picking us up. So, at the end of the day, whoever on the floor, we have to play with the same intensity, both offensively and defensively.
Second row.
Anthony Gilbert, Slam Magazine. LeBron, can you talk about your passing ability? You do such a good job getting your teammates involved, and when you get the trap and double team, you find the open man for good shots.
Well, for me, I've been blessed with a gift to pass the ball and to see the floor, and I've just tried to take advantage to help my teammates. I think that's one of my biggest gifts, and I love getting my guys involved and making them feel a part of something special. So, even me being in my 13th year in the NBA, it all started when I was a kid. My little league coach always said it. There's no iron team. Obviously, we all heard that, but when you get guys involved, then it makes it the game a lot more easier, and it's always stuck with me to this point today.
Front row, Mark.
Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Bron, there was a sense that you guys might not lose another game all season when you came here this weekend. And I saw the confidence in you this morning when you said, we got this. What has happened this weekend? And when you look in the eyes of all the guys in your room, what do you see about the future?
Well, I think it's a sense of the outsiders, which I've never really got involved with, saying that we may not lose another game. I don't get involved in that. Besides talking to you guys, and when I see you guys, that's all I know about it. I don't know anything that's going on outside because I don't watch sports TV. I don't read news clippings. I go home and I'll, watch cartoons with my kids and watch movie channels and Man vs. Wild and things like that because that's what really is important to me. For what the outside people say, I don't really get involved with. And I am a confident guy. I'm always confident in my ability and what I can bring to my team. Whatever the case may be, whatever the circumstances are. So, going back home, we have to play a lot better, and I think we will.
All the way to the back
you
left.
talked about that deficit. With as good a team as you are and good as player as you are, do you feel like when you took the lead by 3, you had them at that point?
No, I definitely thought we have finally got over the curve of how we wanted to play here in this building. But you still got to get stops. And they did a great job of just making shot after shot after shot, even when our run was happening. So you give them a lot of credit with that. They withstand our run, and us giving up 54% shooting, a lot of it in the first half. Like I said, when you dig a hole like that, I think we were down by 18 at one point. Again, when you dig a hole like that, every possession after that is so intensified, and we got to a point where we were up, but, we made a couple more mistakes, and they was able to pull away.
Go with our last question here, Chris.
Chris Haynes, Cleveland.com. Brian, you started off on DeMar, and you guys looked like you were switching for the most part. And it seemed like they were able to use a screen to get you off of him, get the shot that he wanted. Is switching, is that effective with these two guys when they know that's what you guys are doing?
Well, I think, they did a good job of kind of moving him around. And, with me on them, they feel like, trying to get me up off of them is the screen, either with a guard, so they can force the switch. That's part of our defense. But when they screen with a big, part of our defense is we have a goal that we want to try to attack. So I think we'll be a lot better on what we want to do and how we want to, handle those two guys because they're playing exceptional basketball. They're 28 for 43. That's top of the tier numbers right there, and they both went for 30. So, we got to be much better in our schemes and do it a little bit harder as well.
Thanks, guys.